What's going on everybody? Aiden here with Hardware Canucks, and a couple of months back we checked out the Lenovo Y Gaming keyboard and mouse, Lenovo's first gaming peripherals. Back then, we found them competent but quite expensive compared to the competition. Now, Lenovo's back with their second wave, adding the Y Gaming stereo headset and a new optical mouse. The question is though, are they any good?
The Kraken X61 liquid cooler by NZXT features variable pump speed, 2 high static pressure 140mm fans, and beautiful user control through the CAM software. Click below to get Kraken.
We'll look at the Y Gaming stereo headset first. Lenovo has priced it at $49.99, an appealing price point for many gamers looking for an entry-level headset, especially when it features large 50mm drivers. The competition here is pretty sparse, with a lot of junk filling the market. It's facing up against quite a lot of no-name brands and console-focused headsets like the Turtle Beach X12s. However, there is some competition with the Logitech G430, but it's certainly still a price point which lacks a wide range of options. Doing a physical tour, we've got this red and black colour scheme which is consistent with the rest of Lenovo branded peripherals. Lenovo's opted for a carbon fibre texture on the ear cups and the headband, which I think looks great. The plastic headband retracts for size adjustment and the ear cups can swivel flat. On the ear cups we have this plush and breathable foam. While it's not as soft or as comfortable as velour, it's much more breathable than pleather. On the right is our flexible boom mic, as well as a red and black cable which terminates in a 3.5mm connection. I like this choice as it allows for use with smartphones, and they include a Y splitter to have separate headphone and mic connections. Build quality is pretty average here. There's no standout issues, but the Y Gaming headphones feel pretty light and plasticky, although that does lead to a flexible headset and a lightweight at only 270 grams. That weight paired with the breathable earpads make these fairly good for long gaming sessions. They're not super comfortable like my K7XXs, but at the same point they're not uncomfortable after long use, like many cheaper headsets. Sound quality is where I expected to get let down, but actually I ended up being kind of impressed. Make no mistake, these aren't going to blow your mind at $50, but they're pretty good. They're pleasing to listen to. While the mid-range can get a little muddy, the sound is pretty balanced, and bass is present while not being totally overpowering. Soundstage is good too, and positional audio is clear and precise. The semi-closed back nature of the headphones worked well in game, and overall I was happy with the sound they produced.
Unfortunately, the microphone on this headset is pretty atrocious. It sounds pretty tinny, pretty nasally, there's a fair bit of background hiss when running into the PC, and honestly, overall, I've just been pretty unimpressed with this microphone, and it's definitely a big letdown on a headset like this. It is a pretty inexpensive headset, but considering most people are going to be wanting to use the microphone in-game, it's pretty disappointing, and honestly, if you're looking for a good mic, you'll probably look elsewhere.
Overall, the Y Gaming stereo headset is a solid offering as long as you have realistic expectations. For $50, it looks and sounds good, and while it sacrifices on build quality, this headset still makes a solid option at the price. And now, we move on to the Y Gaming optical mouse. Priced at $39.99, it's an appealing price point but also one with strong competition. This mouse is competing against mice like the SteelSeries Rival 100, Dream Machine's DM1 Pro, and the Logitech G303. All of these are very solid performers, so the competition is fierce. This also isn't Lenovo's first mouse, as we previously looked at the original Y Gaming mouse. That mouse came in at the high price of $69.99, making this the more budget-friendly option in their lineup, even though it has an optical sensor versus the laser in the original Y Gaming mouse. This creates an interesting dynamic, with the cheaper of the two mice being superior on paper, but let's see if it checks out. The shape that Lenovo has chosen for this mouse is almost excellent, but falls short due to a few weird choices. It's using a variation of a fairly classic shape, a simple curved body with sides that move inwards to allow your fingers to rest naturally. However, the mouse is a little too large for my hands and the middle of the mouse is too high. I'm sure gamers with slightly larger hands won't have a problem, but the shape may still be a little uncomfortable. The bigger issue with the mouse's shape is that it flares out at the top. It's normal for a mouse to flare out at the bottom, as most people's hands are wider at the palm. However, your hand narrows at the fingertips, so having a mouse that widens there makes it feel strange and a little uncomfortable, and it pushes my little finger out too far. The mouse weighs in at 95 grams, making it fairly light considering its larger form. The lighter weight is appreciated as it makes faster movements in game easier, and for FPS gaming, a lighter weight is generally beneficial. However, the way that Lenovo has cut down on the weight unfortunately sacrifices on build quality. The mouse feels light and cheap, with a resoundingly plastic build. The gripping surface is smooth, which is okay, and the side texture does the job, but nothing feels great. You certainly don't feel like you're getting a premium mouse, and it doesn't feel durable. The scroll wheel is too high and too easy to move. I'm not a fan. The side buttons exhibit good feedback, and the primary clicks are merely okay. They're not as satisfying as on switches. The Y gaming mouse is using an Avago 3050 optical sensor, which I would call good enough for a casual gamer. It's an entry-level optical sensor, which is a step up from a laser sensor, but I could definitely feel the difference in game between that and a better sensor like the 3310 or 3360. It doesn't have any resounding issues, it can handle fast movements and doesn't have any obvious prediction or acceleration problems, but I just found I wasn't that impressed with it overall, especially when you can get better mice with better sensors at the price. Lenovo has some rudimentary accompanying software for the mouse, but it needs some serious work. You've got button remapping with custom macro support and polling rates up to 1000Hz, however, the issue comes with DPI adjustment, as Lenovo has an extremely weird way of handling it. Instead of simply setting one DPI, Lenovo has a weird two-stage system. You can adjust the DPI in increments of 250 up to 4000, but there's also a sensitivity slider. I assumed the sensitivity slider would control the Windows sensitivity, but it actually acts as a secondary DPI adjustment. This means you can't dial in the exact DPI, as you can't know what your true sensitivity is. Lenovo needs to rework this and only have one means of DPI adjustment. It's time to come to conclusions now. The Y gaming headset offers pretty good value at $50, with good looks and a surprisingly capable sound, with the sacrifices made for the sake of price being both logical and acceptable. However, the Y gaming optical mouse doesn't make sense when there are far superior options on the market for the same money, and you should probably look elsewhere for a better gaming mouse. So thank you for watching everyone. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and comment with any questions or feedback. I'm Aiden with Hardware Canucks, make sure to subscribe for more content like this, and we'll see you in the next one.